Boy.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Saints anthem. Umbrellas, oh, we gon' be alright. Umbrellas, oh, cause we got Vilma back. Umbrellas.
Shout out to my boy G Reese. We need another anthem, baby. We need another anthem. But until then, yeah, let's go. And I love my city and I love my town. Yeah, let's get it started. Good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Uncle L back. I know I should have started a podcast. So I'm here. Okay, I've been listening to the talking heads, pre-draft, post-draft, mid-draft. The Saints made a pretty big trade with the Eagles. We gave up a lot. And a lot of the talking heads, they were concerned, they were flabbergasted. They were really confused on why would the Saints give up so much. They certainly must be looking for a quarterback, because there's no way you would give up so much and not pick your franchise quarterback when, and in the same breath, these same talking heads would say, there's no quarterback in this draft that's worth the first round grade. Yet they wanted us to waste the pick on quarterback. So, okay, I'm going to kind of dispel the myth that we gave up a lot. I just have to. I was going to leave that alone, but I didn't see any other show or any other talking head or podcaster, YouTuber explaining exactly how the picks mesh. And did we really get swindled? Did we lose a lot? How does it really look in layman's terms? I know we all know the numbers. We know pick 16, 19, and number 94, and the Eagles got 18, a future second rounder, 2 additional picks, a third and a seventh. We know the Redskins got a third or fourth, and also the 16th pick for the 11th pick. So we know the numbers, but how does that look in layman's terms? But first off, I want to share my buddy, man. This is my guy. I like Peter King. Peter King's a good dude. He has his favorites, and I listen to these because I do a lot of driving at work. I do a lot of moving. I do a lot of traveling when I'm flying. So I listen to a lot of talking heads. I don't really watch their shows on ESPN or NBC or Fox. I usually catch their YouTube clips. So I catch the part that I'm kind of interested in. So I'm usually looking for Saints clips. So I come across this clip of Mike Florio and Peter King, and they, Mike Florio wanted us to pick a quarterback so bad that I don't even think he's even covered us after the draft. I know Chris Sims has. I know others at NBC Sports as in PFT, but I don't think Mike Florio is happy at all with our draft. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on him because I like to catch people in their hypocrisy. So I'm kind of like, I see what he's saying. But right here, we have Peter King, the great Peter King. He's a veteran. He's a legend. And he says something, and I'm going to elaborate after I let him play. So I'm going to play this clip.
One of the items in my column Monday is all about how the incredible price that the New Orleans Saints ended up paying for Dean Martin, with pick number 11. I mean, they really wanted Chris Olave, given all the draft capital that they spent for him, which include, by the way, in transfer now, because of what they paid originally to Philadelphia. They basically paid next year's 1 and 24 second round pick. That goes in the all the capital that they had to pay for Chris Olave.
Just amazing to see all the different approaches that teams have when it comes to receivers, whether it's
Look at Mike
drafting in
Florio's
your
face.
normal spot,
He hates
trading
talking
up,
about the
trading
Saints.
for a guy, paying the guy you
Okay, I'm going to pause that. Oh, I didn't even show the video, so you can't see his face. My apologies for that. But listen, man, and ladies. I'm going to, okay, here we go. Here's my first slide right here. What did we give up for to the Eagles? This is the Eagles trade broken down. Okay, we see the Saints. We got the 18. We had the 18th pick, and we had the 2023 first round pick, which is possibly late. And we sent that to the Eagles for Trevor Penning. The Eagles 16th pick was turned into the Redskins 11th pick. Oh, I'm sorry, the Commanders 11th pick was turned into Olave, and the Eagles 194th pick was turned into Jordan Jackson from Air Force. Okay, listen, now this is what I want you guys to see. This is okay. Let's go to the next slide. This is how it breaks down. This is the Saints pick in layman's terms right here. Okay. The trade was basically, okay, let's say the Eagles and the Saints, we swapped out the 18th for the 19th. That's a swap. It's an even swap. So we cancel that out. 1 minus 1 is 0. 18 for 19, both first round picks. That's a 0. Okay, we look at it here. The 16th pick for a future first round pick. That's how we moved up. I mean, for the 16th pick for a future first round pick. Okay, now listen to how that sounds. That future first round pick, if we're good this year, if we make the playoffs, or like I feel, if we go into the Super Bowl, now if that future first round pick take us to the Super Bowl, then that'll be the 32nd pick. So that would be, we traded the 32nd pick for the 16th pick. That's 16 slots. That's an even okay, 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, so technically, here's what we literally and really gave up for Chris Olave. A future second round pick, 2/3, 1 was compensatory, and a 4th. I think that's okay. I think that's okay if Chris Olave becomes a superstar like we are projecting him to become. That Robin first 2 years with Michael Thomas, and eventually becoming that Batman that third season when Michael Thomas becomes 31, 32 years old. So I'm not listening to the talking heads. I'm trying to explain this in layman's terms. In layman's terms, technically, we basically were swapping first out, which canceled each other out because we don't know how those first round picks are going to perform. So Penning can become a Hall of Famer. Olave can become a Hall of Famer. So those first round picks, we took our first last year and just moved it to the 16th pick, which flipped it again to the 11th pick this year. So that pick next year is now accounted for in Chris Olave. Now the second, third, and fourth, 1/3 was a compensatory pick, which means that we gave up a free agent signing that didn't sign back with us. So we got that third round compensatory pick. So that's the Mike. I think that's Marcus Williams that came with us through Marcus Williams. So we basically gave up a second, a third, and a 4th, and a compensatory 3rd. I'm cool with that. That second pick is 2024. That means Chris Olave will be in his second year, going into his 3rd season. So at that time, we'll know whether or not he's a superstar or not, or whether or not he has the projection of a superstar. And that second pick, we won't even care about anymore, because we'll be like, look what we have here. We have a superstar on the horizon, Chris Olave, and we have a mauler, a straight beast animal that probably learned how to block now in Trevor Penning, who was the other first round pick. So basically, next time you listen to these talking heads, and they're sure, that's still a lot. A second, 2/3, and a 4th, that's still a lot for just to move up. I get it. But we're looking towards the future, because right now we already have a complete team. We have a top 5 defense. We have a quarterback who was basically top 8 or 9 in 12 or 13 quarterback stats. That includes QBR, EPA, touchdown per interception ratio, red zone scoring. Those stats that the quarterback nerds look at, but they don't want to count it for Jameis, and instead for the simple fact that Jameis has a bad history with Tampa Bay, which was 3-4 years ago. But hey, that's another topic. I'm gonna do another podcast on that, on how the media is absolutely going bonkers over Baker Mayfield, who, listen, Baker Mayfield leads the league in interceptions since he was drafted. Now, Jameis Winston has never had a season where he threw more interceptions than touchdowns, but you would swear he's only had one season where he's thrown over 20 interceptions. But you would think that Jameis Winston just is the worst thing ever because he plays for the Saints. But the media is going crazy. Why don't they want Baker Mayfield? What's going on? He leads the league in interceptions since he came into the league. If you keep the same energy that you kept with Jameis, I would respect it. I'd be like, hey, I understand they went hard on Jameis because when Jameis went to the Saints, he had that same narrative that he led the league in interceptions since his draft day. So I would get it, but they're not keeping the same energy because for some reason, Baker Mayfield is a more likable character. He has a lot of endorsements. He has that swagger, that moxie. And Jameis is kind of quirky. Let's just say what it is. Jameis is quirky. But I did this. I just wanted to make sure the Who Dat Nation, I'm going to share this in the Who Dat Nation group. Basically, most of my Saints posts, I'm going to share it in there because that group is a group of radical fans that I relate to. That's my Who Dat tribe, the Who Dat Nation Facebook group. That's my Who Dat tribe. I get them. They get me. So I'm gonna share most of my Saints stuff. And then when I talk about the Lakers NBA, I'm not gonna other things I talk about on this channel. I'm not gonna share it in there because that doesn't have anything to do with them. But when it comes to Who Dat and the Who Dat Nation and just talking New Orleans Saints football, I'm gonna give them the first look on some of this stuff. But yes, I just wanted to get this out there. I wanted to share that. I wanted to make sure that I put those numbers out there. Hold on, let me put that back. Let me get that out there. Just technically, this is what we did. Again, technically, if you put the rubber when the rubber meets the road, and when you break it down to the finite of the trade, a second, 2/3, and a fourth, as we begin to just swap these firsts around, that's basically what we gave up. That seems like a lot. It does. But we could afford giving up a future second, 2/3 this year, and a fourth because we already had a complete team. We already had a top 5 defense, and we already had an offense that added Michael Thomas. Now listen to what we're saying. We are bringing back Michael Thomas, adding to the offense that we had last year. So very few teams are going to add a Michael Thomas and a Chris Olave. Listen, let me say that again because we're getting to 13 minutes and I want to cut this off at about 15, 14 minutes. There's no team. Okay, the Raiders added Devontae Adams to their roster after they lost Henry Ruggs last year because of what Henry Ruggs did. And we understand that. The Raiders added Devontae Adams. The New Orleans Saints adding to their wide receiver core Michael Thomas and Chris Olave. Listen, no other team in the league can voice that. Okay, the Dolphins is adding Tyreek Hill. We're adding Michael Thomas. So we can afford giving up a couple of 3rd-round picks and 4th-round picks that were going to be on special teams for 3 years. So that's what I wanted to put that out there. I wanted us to get an understanding that when it comes to the Who Dat Nation, when it comes to these picks, these talking heads, they wanted us to just draft. They wanted us to use one of them thirds for a quarterback. They're still flabbergasted. Why didn't the Saints use that first for a quarterback? They don't understand that we believe that we are a Super Bowl team right now. They don't understand that we believe that we're going to win this division because the Bucks can't mess with us. We're 4-1 against the Bucks, and that playoff win that the Bucks had against us. Remember, we were dominating that. Cooks fumbled the ball. Breeze threw a couple interceptions. It's like we couldn't get our head back in the game. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Health is what beat us last year. Health, and we dealt with a hurricane. Our team was displaced. This year, if we maintain our health, we're going to win a division. We're going to make a strong playoff run. And as Chop was telling you right now, black and gold may be going back to the Super Bowl. Let's go! Y'all don't understand how excited I am right now. I'm about to close this pod out. It's close. I just want to get this out of the way. I'm about to close this pod out, and we about to get this over with. But who that said they're gonna beat them Saints?